chingada, brujo! ¡Cuánto narcopedo! Está aquí por eso, y tengo su hueso, cabrones. De España.
¿Qué pasa, cabrones? Aquí estamos otra vez, One John Talk, representando Mr. Waka, aquí Waka Weed TV, una vez más, trayéndolos los mejores invitados. Esta vez viene desde San Diego, Ryan de Cattle Decapitation. What up, Travis?
What's up, man?
Everything cool here. We have now a little time to chill and smoke together.
Yeah.
So this is called One John Talk. I know you don't have a joint, but you have a bong, you have a lot of shit. So let's start by giving a hit or lighting the joint, and then we start speaking. So
For sure.
Please do the honors.
I will.
That's a good hit. What are you smoking, by the way?
I have no idea. You know what? I only go by, I don't go by names because they seem to change every hour, you know.
Yeah.
I go by what kind. So this is a like a sativa.
Sativa. Yeah.
Sativa for the day, indica for the night.
Great. I'm smoking some indica now. But yeah. Are you more sativa indica guy, or you like both?
Indica for sure. I like both, but and I don't really like hybrids. I like one or the other. So
yeah, I'm the
you
same.
know, sativa for the day because I'm not trying to be all tired during the day while I'm doing shit.
Sure.
But indica, you know, I'm more of an indica guy because I like to be relaxed. I like to be pounded into the pillow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But do you use marijuana or cannabis as a creative tool or something when you write music or lyrics or design your crazy concept?
Nope. Concert, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I pretty much start smoking around the middle day, and then don't really stop. And then, but on the road, so I'm not just tired all day. I kind of, you know, go. I get real stoned before we go up there. You know.
Okay.
It's kind of a trance-like state.
Okay.
When I'm on stage, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm not very aware.
Okay.
But there's those moments. There's those moments where you're like, you know, headbanging and you're wondering like, oh, what am I gonna do tonight afterward? What am I gonna go get to eat and shit? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about Cattle Decapitation, because you have been a bit prophetic with this last album, Death Atlas, because all the concept of the album fits very well with the pandemic and all the bullshit we are dealing with, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
How you have been living the pandemic, like, because it's the typical bullshit question, but it's the world we live in, especially artists and musicians. So I guess it's been how it's been for you, not being in the road, not being able to do shows, and what you have been doing with all this time.
Well, there's two sides for me. There's two sides to it. There's the band. We just put out an album not even a year ago, and right in a quarter of the way into the touring for it, we had to stop. So there's that. That's very unfortunate. But at the same time, personally, in my personal life, I needed this. I needed something to put a stop to everything. My dad isn't doing very well. Okay. So I'm actually, and at the same time, I've been needing to move from where I'm at. I'm in Imperial Beach, California right now, which is, I can see Tijuana from my front door. So I've been needing to move closer to my parents, which is in Escondido, my hometown, a little north in the county. So being on the road, and if I was on tour and knowing, oh fuck, I've got 2 weeks when I get home from the U.S. tour before I go to Europe to make all this shit happen, it would just be it would suck, and it's been a cause of stress in my life for years.
Of course.
And so everything had to be put on hold for the entire world. It's also a lot easier. This sucks to say, but I think most people would agree and understand that one thing that takes the edge off of all of this is everybody's in it together.
Yeah.
Every fucking corner of the world, unless you're, some remote tribe on some island or some shit. Everybody's affected. So, yes, it sucked. It sucks for the album. We put out our album Death Atlas Black Friday last year, and we were going crazy touring. We had 2 years solid booked, and that all just got swept away. So for the album, it really sucks, but it's been a blessing for at least my personal life. It was something that I needed to have something put a stop. I really, really would rather have the touring and stuff going on, but for these intents and purposes, it's helped.
Of course, because people normally think that going on tour is all party and it's all super good, but it's also super stressful and it's work.
And it is all party for some people. I've never been that guy in the band. I have too much other stuff to make, I don't know, going on to make sure it happens. I'm kind of the guy that is the sort of managerial part of the band and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been there the longest, so I have, an incredible emotional stake, as we all do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's weird, man.
Well, we have to take all the good from this bad experience and at least focus on personal stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
And if people come out of this without some monumentous changes in their life or some sort of positive thing to come from it, then they didn't use the time effectively. I think everybody's been kind of given a gift. Even the music industry or entertainment industry, which has been hit hard, this could be a whole reset period that could be a positive thing in the long run. That band Propaganda put out that meme the other day.
I saw it.
Was just, it's true. Venues and shit was kind of toxic for a while there, in all sorts of ways. And now we have this time for everybody to have it pulled away from them. We can all sit back and reflect. And while it sucks, and I would have probably rather not it happened, obviously, because we lost a lot here. We lost the momentum for our record. We lost that. There's financial losses. There's emotional, stake that we have in creating this music and wanting to get it out to everybody. This was our most thought-provoking I felt record yet. This one and the last one. So, fuck, man.
Hopefully next year or whatever. But
we'll get back. And I know it's stupid to write a song called "Bring Back the Plague" and then be sitting here going, "Oh, but fucking touring though." Obviously, we're a death metal. It's an extreme metal band, and we're gonna say some extreme shit.
Let's speak about your relation with Cannabis, and I always make the same question to every guest, and it's what's your first experience with Cannabis? The first joint story or something like that, because it's very funny to remember those old early days.
Trying to decide if I can even remember. Man, you'll get a kick out of this. You and I have hung out enough and made joked around enough to know that how funny this is. One of my first experiences was I didn't know shit about it other than what everybody else kids knew at the time. I don't know. I was 16 or 17, 16, I think, 15, 16, something like that. This kid in the neighborhood, he was this dude, a cholo dude. And he became a friend of mine. He was funny. Our thing was we'd just give each other shit all the time. And he was a funny dude, and I liked him, and he introduced me to their culture, and let's face it, I'm a gringo, so he I think he gave or sold maybe $5. I don't know. He gave me a plant. It's not that I was trying to be cool necessarily, but everybody else was like, hooking up and starting it. And this guy sold me a leaf, not a leaf. It was a plant, but it just bloomed, and I let it grow for a little while, and not knowing a goddamn thing, not having the internet at my fingertips, especially.
Yeah.
I one day, just picked it out and tried smoking it. Like, obviously it didn't work. A couple of years later, I basically really tried it for real. Like, that was just a dumb, I was really young and didn't know anything.
So something you want to promote or you want to make aware of our audience?
Well, we've had the band has kept me extremely busy, actually, during all of this. I've literally had not shifted gears on much else. I've been able to adopt a hobby or two, but the band has been completely taken up the majority of my attention. We had earlier in the year a big reissue campaign with reissuing our Monolith of Inhumanity album and the Anthropocene Extinction record on vinyl, because that stuff just sold out right away when it first came out. So that did really well. There's associated merch drops and stuff like that. And, merch here and there, but it sucks. We're doing what we can to stay afloat, but at the same time, I'm not be just a fucking merch line. I want to get out there and play these songs. I want to get out there and tour, but it's just the way it is, dude.
But have you been able to write new songs or do something creative?
They're actually in the process of starting to write new stuff as well. Yeah. Dave, our bass player lives in Montreal and Dave lives in Seattle. But we've written two albums almost that way. So it's going to be a little challenging to get songs written, but we're also kind of used to it. And you could do that stuff with the internet and shit now. We've just always been a little more old school. We do everything in person and all that. So, but this last one is our first record with a guy who lives in a whole other country. But it's been working out totally fine. Dave comes down, once a month and we practice and that's how we wrote all of Death Atlas, and I think the majority of Anthropocene Extinction too was just Dave coming down for a few days and once a month, and it works great for us. So we're on top of it. I've for months now, even before this thing started, I already had the loose concept of what I wanted to do for the next record, the follow-up, to Death Atlas, and so I have all of that pretty much ironed out, which is awesome because that's, on Anthropocene Extinction, that stuff didn't come until just a few months before we went in the studio. Death Atlas I had mapped out a long time in advance.
You are the one in charge in the band to elaborate and work all the process of the concept of the album, and your work is also mixed with the artwork, with the video clip concept, everything. You do all that creative process that takes a lot of time. It's not the regular punk rock song or whatever. It's like you really put a lot of effort on that. So how is the process and how long it takes?
It basically takes us about a year to write a record. So that whole time, instead of writing riffs or whatever, they take care of all that stuff. I'm busy doing all the conceptual stuff and working with the artists to figure out the cover and all that stuff. I'm doing that while they're doing that. So basically it takes, roughly about a year, but I keep a file on my phone that has all sorts of song titles. I got like 150 of them sitting there that I'll think of something or a lyric or a concept or something, and I'll just type it in there real quick. And so by the time they come and give me a recording of some demo stuff they're working on, I have all sorts of shit to choose from. So then I listen to the song, look at what I've got, and then decide what's the best title or whatever to put to this song and that kind of shit.
Sure.
But the actual concept of the record gets worked out pretty much in advance. You know, like at this point, it's kind of writing itself because the records are playing off of each other. You know, before we would just have a whole different concept. I think starting with Monolith, it became like this could have been a trilogy. It wasn't necessarily written that way, but it's turning out that way. Mm-hmm. And the idea and the concept I have for the next record is very interesting, very fantastical. You know,
you were about to say it, but then
earlier on, you know, on the other records, it was just loose concept or whatever, and now it's starting to almost tell a story. And everything used to deal with actual, current, modern day reality. Now it's starting to go more into a fantastical sort of journey and poetic, and a lot more poetic sounding, I guess.
Do you see yourself like doing a movie or something like that? Where do you get inspiration from all this?
Honestly, I think we're kind of in a movie right now. And, you know, all the stuff people in regards to Bring Back the Plague, the song, people are like, "Whoa, you prophesized it," or whatever, and it's just like, no, it's more just like if you're paying attention to current events and writing about that kind of stuff, because I'm not the most, you know, politically collegiate guy. I don't know what you'd say. I don't really, I don't know. I think just as long as you're talking about reality and it's just going to be hitting close to home. And this is climate change specifically, and just the global, the state of the actual Earth and the globe, and then how it relates to politics should be a concern of everybody's. If you're having children, if you're not having kids, like I'm not having kids, but if you are, I don't understand why you would deny this shit and be leaving your kids and then their children, because you got to keep in mind that they're gonna have kids and so on and so on and so on. My family name actually dies with me, so I think if you're having kids, then you might want to be caring about those things.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not having kids, and I still give a shit, but at the same time, I don't know. The lyrics have always come from this really nihilistic, kind of almost psychopath sort of point of view. But it's obvious, I would hope has been obvious this whole time, that it's just a metaphorical, you know, reflection in the mirror of society and how we are.
So Ryan, my joint is finished. This show is called One Joint Talk. So I'm very happy that you accepted this invitation.
We've got Reissue City going on. We got fucking Human Jerky. Our first record just got reissued on vinyl, CD, and cassette. So go pick that up. We've got all the Monolith and Anthropocene shit sold out. We'll probably have a new pressing of Death Atlas coming soon. But up next is Homivore. I haven't really announced that publicly, but we're doing Dave Otero is actually going to be remixing and remastering that album, which desperately needs it. That was our second release. And so that's coming. We're going to be doing stuff. And when shit goes back to normal, whatever that is going to look like, we're going to be one of the first in line. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
So, cabrones marihuanos, esto ha sido One Young Talk con Travis Ryan de Cattle Decapitation. Cabrones, seguir las redes de Cattle Decapitation, comprar su mercancía, putos, comprar también todo lo que os ofrecemos en este portal, estar al loro de nuestras redes, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, pronto igual en Twitch incluso, cabrones. Esto ha sido What You Talk.